Star Wars Squadrons has finally released, and it is an extremely fun game that makes you feel like you really are a starfighter pilot. My name's Scott, this is VR Talk, let's get into it. The story mode for this game feels mostly uninteresting, but it does a really good job of teaching you the controls, which is the main point of it, really, as multiplayer was clearly the focus of this game. The story starts right when Alderaan is being destroyed, and the plot centers around Captain Lyndon Javes of the New Republic and Teresa Carroll of the Galactic Empire, and their opposing squadrons as the New Republic is attempting to destroy the Empire. You play as a new pilot in Javes' Vanguard Squadron to help protect a secret ship from Carroll. The story is very boring and honestly felt kind of predictable. I mean, Javes was Carroll's mentor in the Galactic Empire until he decided what they were doing was wrong and abandoned them to join the New Republic. The story wasn't the focus of this game. As I mentioned earlier, EA really focused on the multiplayer for this game, and it is a damn good time. The multiplayer in Squadrons is a ton of fun. You'll be flying around with your buddies, shooting down all those who fly in your way. There are two main modes in the game: dogfights, which is exactly what the name says, 5 versus 5 dogfights in close and tight maps that feel amazing to fly around in, hunting down your next target. Dogfights are incredible, and it is my favorite mode to play. They are nice and simple and very quick, which is great if you just have time to get a couple quick games in. The other mode is called Fleet Battles, which puts you on a larger map where each team has 3 main ships they need to protect from the opposing team. This game mode is a tug-of-war where each team needs to destroy enough starfighters from the enemy to move forward and destroy their 2 cruisers before moving to their Star Destroyer or the Republic's MC-75. This mode is a ton of fun and requires some actual strategy to it, as depending on your team's ship choices, you may need to adapt and change ships to help them out. This mode can take longer to play through, but it's a ton of fun. Just make sure you have the time for it. The online has a lot of customization options for both your ship and the character you're playing as, and best of all, there are no microtransactions. You unlock everything just by playing the game, which is really nice as you don't see that anymore in games. You can get skins for each ship, which there are 4 of, on both the Republic and Imperial sides. You can also get decorations for inside your hull, like holograms and little figures and chains for the dash of your cockpit. You can also change all your weapons on the ship, your countermeasures, the shields, the type of hull, both auxiliaries, and more. The customizations are great, and I'm glad all are unlockable for free. The gameplay in Squadrons is fantastic, depending on which type of input device you use. If you're using a mouse and keyboard, well, good luck. I started first on mouse and keyboard, and controlling the starfighter was a challenge. I still had fun, but it was incredibly difficult to actually maneuver around and kill people in multiplayer. As soon as I switched to an Xbox controller, the game felt 10 times better. The controls felt great, and I was easily able to maneuver around and get kills. It also felt great to be able to just lean back and not need to think about which keys I needed to press. I don't have anything to say about flight stick setups as of right now, as I don't own one, but I'm sure it makes the game feel even more immersive. Being in VR made this game incredibly immersive. Being able to fully look around your cockpit and turn around to see your R2 unit on the back of your X-Wing was so cool, especially because some of the amazing backgrounds on the maps look absolutely amazing. Like these brightly colored space clouds with the sun shining through them, that just really makes the game feel so real. Unfortunately, you can't actually move your arms or interact with anything, as the game doesn't support VR controllers, just the headsets. The reason for this is that there just weren't enough buttons on the controllers to support all the controls for the game. which probably could have been solved by making a few interactable buttons in the cockpit, but this game isn't just for VR, and not developing a third control system for a smaller player base is understandable. If you're looking for full immersion, I would say go look at some flight stick setups, as they will bring you to the next level. Now, there were a few times where the game did glitch out on me, especially when I crashed and would get stuck bouncing around in a tight area until I exploded, or it finally took me out of that area. But this rarely happened, and I don't really think it's a cause for concern. Warning to Quest users: if you're using an Oculus Link cable, the game tends to have some lagging issues through Steam VR. I didn't have any issues using Virtual Desktop, however, as it worked perfectly through that. I have heard from Reddit users that the Origin version of this game seems to work better using Link than the Steam VR, so consider buying on Origin instead of Steam if you're planning on using a Quest with Link. The graphics for Star Wars Squadrons are absolutely beautiful. This is one of the best looking games I've experienced in VR. As I've mentioned before, the backdrops are absolutely gorgeous, the characters look amazing, and so do the ship models, which you can inspect and admire in the hangar while waiting in between matches. The cockpits look fantastic and have a ton of detail to them, which really makes you feel immersed. I just wish you could actually interact with it using touch controllers, but that's fine. Star Wars Squadrons is an absolute blast, especially in VR. Being able to fly around and shoot down your enemies while feeling like you're an actual starfighter pilot was an amazing feeling. If you're on the fence about buying this, I can say it is an easy recommend from me, as long as the story mode isn't the main thing you're wanting to play. Well, that does it for this review. If you've been playing Star Wars Squadrons, let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video, consider subscribing and leaving a like. Stay fresh, and I'll see you in the next one.